Some people are not lazy because they hate work. They are lazy because their brain is tired of wasting energy on meaningless things. The average person spends more energy deciding than actually doing. That's why smart people search for shortcuts automatically. Not because they're weak, because the brain is designed to conserve energy. A truly lazy person will always find the fastest way to survive. And that mindset can become a superpower. Most disciplined people never rely on motivation every day. They build systems that remove effort completely. Gamers spend 8 hours grinding levels without feeling exhausted. But 30 minutes of homework feels painful. Why? Because the brain hates unclear rewards. Your phone understands this perfectly. Every notification gives your brain a tiny dopamine hit. Every scroll feels effortless. That's why binge watching feels easier than building your future. The problem isn't laziness. The problem is friction. If success feels harder than distraction, your brain chooses distraction automatically. Highly disciplined people understand this better than anyone. They make good habits easier than bad ones. They automate decisions before emotions can interfere. Clothes prepared the night before. Workout time already scheduled. Healthy food already visible. No thinking. No debating. No motivation required. Discipline is not forcing yourself to suffer every day. It's designing a life where the right choice becomes the easiest choice. That's why some lazy people eventually become unstoppable. Because once they discover efficient systems, they never want to return to chaos again. The moment you delay a task, your brain marks it as painful. Not dangerous, just uncomfortable enough to avoid. That's why opening the laptop feels harder than scrolling for 2 straight hours. Your brain doesn't hate work. It hates starting. Because starting burns mental energy before momentum exists. And lazy people lose that battle every single morning. So, here's the trick that changes everything. Never commit to the whole task. Only commit to 2 minutes. 1 push-up, 1 sentence, 1 page. Open the laptop and do absolutely nothing else. Because once motion begins, resistance starts dying. This is called momentum psychology. Your brain loves continuing what already started. That's why Netflix autoplay works so well. And why one TikTok becomes 40 minutes. The same dopamine loop can work for discipline too. You just need a smaller entry point. Cleaning your room for 60 seconds suddenly becomes 10 minutes without noticing. Reading 1 paragraph becomes an entire chapter. The hardest part was never the work. It was convincing your brain to begin. Highly disciplined people understand this better than everyone else. They don't rely on motivation. They reduce the size of the first step. Because tiny actions feel safe to the brain, and safe actions avoid procrastination. Right now, pause this video and do one small thing you've been avoiding. Not the full task, just 2 minutes. That tiny win sends a signal to your brain. Action is possible. Progress feels good. And once your brain tastes progress, it starts craving more of it. That's how discipline actually begins. Not through pressure, not through motivation speeches, through tiny wins repeated long enough to change your identity. Your environment is silently shaping every decision you make. Discipline becomes easier the moment your surroundings stop fighting against your goals. Most people blame themselves while living inside systems designed for distraction. A phone beside your bed already decided how tomorrow morning will begin. Willpower loses against convenience almost every single time. That's why highly disciplined people remove temptation before temptation even appears. The lazy brain naturally chooses the easiest available option nearby. So make productive actions easier than destructive ones. Keep water on your desk instead of soda inside your fridge. Place your workout clothes where your eyes instantly notice them. Hide junk food where reaching it feels annoying and inconvenient. Delete apps that steal hours without giving anything meaningful back. Your brain follows visual cues more than motivation speeches. A clean workspace quietly tells your mind to focus. A messy room constantly reminds your brain to stay distracted. Every object around you is either increasing resistance or reducing it. That's why environment design beats motivation every single day. Successful people are not stronger humans with superhuman discipline. They simply build rooms that make failure harder to repeat. Even dopamine can be engineered in your favor with simple changes. Scrolling endlessly trains your brain to crave constant stimulation and instant rewards. But completing tiny productive actions slowly rewires your reward system toward progress. Your habits become automatic once your environment repeatedly pushes the same behavior daily. The goal is not forcing yourself to work harder every morning. The goal is creating a life where good decisions happen almost without thinking. Highly disciplined people don't rely on motivation every morning. They remove choices before the day even starts. Same wake-up time, same morning routine, same first task every single day. Because every decision drains mental energy. That's why most people feel exhausted before doing anything important. Successful people protect their focus like it's money. They don't ask themselves if they feel productive today. The system already decided for them yesterday. Same breakfast, same workout schedule, same work blocks, same sleep routine. Repetition creates automatic behavior. Automatic behavior becomes discipline, and discipline eventually looks effortless from the outside. Students use fixed study hours to avoid procrastination. Creators plan content before motivation disappears. Gamers improve faster because repetition trains their brain automatically. Corporate workers use calendar blocking to stop distractions from controlling their day. High performers are not more motivated than everyone else. They simply built lives with fewer unnecessary decisions. Real discipline is not forcing yourself harder every day. Real discipline is creating a system so simple your lazy brain can follow it consistently. Some days discipline feels impossible, not because you are weak, but because your brain is exhausted. Motivation disappears faster than people admit. That's why relying on motivation is dangerous. Highly consistent people do not trust their feelings. They trust systems. A bad day does not destroy their routine. They simply lower the difficulty, but never stop completely. One push-up still counts. Reading one page still counts. Opening the laptop still counts. Tiny actions protect your identity. Because consistency is more psychological than physical. Most people quit after missing one day. Then guilt turns one missed day into one lost month. The smartest rule is simple. Never miss twice. Burnout often starts when people chase perfection instead of progress. Social media makes this even worse. Every scroll makes it feel like everyone else is ahead in life. But discipline is not about moving faster than others. It is about refusing to completely stop. Even during low-energy days, disciplined people keep a tiny promise to themselves. That small promise slowly rebuilds self-respect. The goal is not becoming a productivity machine. The goal is becoming someone who keeps going, even when life feels heavy.